Na palatuntunan ay isang bayad na pagsasahimpapawid. Ang mga salita, opinyon, kuro-kuro at komentaryo na inyong maririnig ay mula sa tagapagsalita lamang at walang kinalaman ang pangasiwaan ng himpirang ito. Tuklasin natin! Ang palatuntunan sa radyo na tutuklas ng dapat malaman ng sambayanan. Maninindigan sa katotohanan. Tatalakayin at hihimayin ang mga kaalamang pangkalusugan, siyensya at teknolohiya, agrikultura, ekonomiya, maging mga usaping legal at isyung panlipunang dapat ibahagi, magsisilbing tulay ng mga karaniwang tao upang maiparating sa pamahalaan ang mga mungkahi, hinaing at pulso ng bayan. Ipaglalaban ang karapatan ng mamamayang Pilipino. Babatikusin ang mga salot sa lipunan. Pupurihin ang mga gumagawa ng kabutihan at naninindigan sa katotohanan. Tuklasin natin! Tuklasin natin! Ang Tuklasin natin ay handog sa inyo ni Cathy Cruz.
And holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hill Spa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hill Spa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hill Spa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Mga patutuon ng ating mga kababayan na natulungan ng Immune Advance.
Ako po si Ronald Advincula na taga Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija, security guard. Simula po nung nasubukan ko itong Immune Advance, naging mahimbing po yung aking pagtulog at yung aking appetite po. Lumakas po ako sa pagkain. Kung ganun gaya nung dati na talagang nalalambot po ako nung hindi ko pa po nainom itong food supplement nito. Start po nung nainom ko to, lumakas po. Saka yung resistensya ko po medyo nagkaroon po ng energetic. Dito po sa food supplement ng Immune Advance, maganda po talaga. Salamat Immune Advance.
Ako si Yoli Mabasa, senior citizen, retired banker ng Ilagan, Isabela. Alam nyo, dati ang nararamdaman ko, nagpapalpitate ako. Sinubukan ko yung Immune Advance, nawala na yung palpitation ko. Gumaan pa ang pakiramdam ko. At saka simula noon, tuwing umiinom ako, naku, ang sarap na ng tulog ko. Salamat Immune Advance, mabuti na lang na-discover kita. Thank you.
Shop ni Lolita Daban, 46 years old, taga Kutog Grande de Mercedes, Isabela. Dati-dati narigatan nak nga maturog, tata nagimas mit iturog kon. Agyaman nak mit detang intid da kanyak Immune Advance. Padasin nyo Immune Advance nalaing. Sobrat na itulong na tibagit. Thank you.
Ni Bubot Buwak 50 anyos, taga District 1, Benito Sullivan, Isabela. Manay po dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, talaga mariknak iti bagik nga mayat. Mayat ti pan naturog ko, kayan pumiksa akpay. Idi gamin, adda iti rabi nga dya makaturturog. Ngumi dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, isumutan si mayat ti pan naturog ko. So nga do kayat yung mayat ti pumiksa, kayan mayat ti pan naturog na, agtumar kayo ti Immune Advance, awan ti side effect na, tunay nga organic.
Nung bata po ako, may asthma po ako. Tapos po, nung simulan ko po uminom po ng products po ng Immune Advance, ay naging mabuti po yung aking katawan. And nakatulog po ako ng maayos. And nawawala po yung hika ko po. Kaya po sa mga kagaya ko po na may asthma, Immune Advance na lang po yung inumin niyo. Ako nga po pala si Casey Petty Talagtag, 19 taon na gulang, nakatira sa Payatas. Ito pong Immune Advance, nagtataglay po ito ng malunggay, lagundi, vitamin C, and zinc na nakakabuti sa ating immune system.
Lagundi! Tiwala ako!
Immune Advance, alagang totoo, alagang natural, mabibili sa Lazada, Shopee at sa inyong mga suking parmasya, sa mga drugstore, sa inyong mga lugar.
Araw-araw ang digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, greetings of peace to each one of you. Once again, I'd like to reintroduce myself. I am Aldrin Alvarez. I am the Communications Officer of the Global Peace Foundation Philippines, and the reason why we are here this morning. And on behalf of the foundation, I would like to thank everyone for coming over this afternoon with your busy schedule. You gave time. Can we give ourselves a big round of applause for our time this afternoon? I am so delighted that you guys to stand before you as we are going to embark on this significant event which aims in promoting peace through the powerful influence of media. Today's forum marked a pivotal moment as we gather here to explore the critical role of the media sector in advancing global peace. So to kick off this enlightening assembly, we are honored to have with us a visionary leader, the lead convener of the Global Peace Convention 2023. Friends, let's welcome Dr. Nona Salvania Ricafort.
A cheerful good afternoon to all. Esteemed peace advocates, most especially our honorable speakers, the distinguished representative from various media sector, who are mostly our dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we would like to acknowledge our major sponsor here. This is the Global Peace Foundation, represented by our Global Peace Foundation Vice President, Vikira, and our honorable speaker, our guest of honor, will be introduced later. We are deeply honored to welcome you at this Global Peace Media Forum. Hosted by the Global Peace Foundation, this gathering signifies a crucial intersection of our shared commitment to peace and unity. Organization has been at the forefront of applying a value-based approach to peace. The emphasis is universal principle and shared values as the foundation to address and resolve conflicts, promote equitable and sustainable development, and engage every member of the human family, community, and society in the noble pursuit of building a universal culture of peace. That is, one family under God. In the Philippines, the Global Peace Foundation had made significant strides in bringing together various sectors of society to promote its advocacy for peace. It's through the collective efforts of passionate individuals and organizations that we can foster lasting change and unity. Needless to emphasize, media plays a very powerful and significant role in the inducement of peace or the escalation of war among nations, communities, and peoples. It is said that it can, in fact, be the instrument or the stabilizer of peace because media uses powerful tools such as radio, television, print, and publishing, and now social media to articulate, bringing to prominence or focus or disorient vital issues amongst very gullible people. Today we are joined by a diverse and distinguished group of peace advocates representing different media sectors from print to cable TV, radio, social media, and beyond. Your role as communicators is of immense importance as you have the power to amplify the message of peace, transcend borders, and bring communities together. During the Global Peace Media Forum, we invite you to engage in meaningful discussions, share your insights, and forge collaboration that can harness the immense potential of media in advancing peace. Together, we can leverage the power of storytelling, journalism, and information dissemination to inspire positive change and foster understanding. It is in this keeping that the vital track on media as a potent ally to the pursuit of global peace should be addressed. Hence, a media forum and its multi-pronged reach and influence was conceptualized and gelled by a group of key leaders, decision makers, and at the end of the day, the various invited sectors are requested to come with policy recommendation, advocacy initiatives to be shared. Whatever has transpired in this meeting, in this media forum, will be delivered in the December 13th International Global Peace Assembly Conference, which will happen at the Marriott Hotel. A working agenda and concrete action plans on how media can be properly harnessed and optimized to promote the collective consciousness towards global peace. And in the face of adversity, let us be the beacon of hope, the guiding force for positive change, and the unifying voice in the world longing for peace. We must harness the power of media leadership and collaboration to ensure that the flames of conflict are replaced with the warmth of peace, having in mind that we belong to one family under one God. We would like to extend our gratitude and thanks to each and every one of you for your commitment to peace and your dedication to the values that underpin it. And of course, we are so grateful and happy that you are with us here despite your busy schedule. Let us explore the pivotal role media plays in building a more peaceful world. Together, we can be catalysts for change and a beacon of hope for a brighter, more harmonious future. Once again, warm welcome to the Global Peace Media Advocates, and thank you for being here, and we look forward to the inspiring discussion that will unfold this afternoon. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat.
Sa Katipunan Channel.
Mga patutuon ng ating mga kababayan na natulungan ng Immune Advance.
Ako po si Ronald Adbincula na taga Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija. Security guard. Simula po nung nasubukan ko itong Immune Advance, naging mahimbing po yung aking pagtulog at yung aking appetite po. Lumakas po ako sa pagkain. Kung ganun ka gaya nung dati na talagang nalalambot po ako nung hindi ko pa po nainom itong food supplement nito. Start po nung nainom ko to, lumakas po. Saka yung resistensya ko po medyo nagkaroon po ng energetic. Dito po sa food supplement ng Immune Advance, maganda po talaga. Salamat Immune Advance.
Ako si Yoli Mabasa, senior citizen, retired banker ng Ilagan, Isabela. Alam nyo, dati ang nararamdaman ko, nagpapalpitate ako. Sinubukan ko yung Immune Advance. Aba, nawala na yung palpitation ko. Gumaan pa ang pakiramdam ko. At saka simula noon, tuwing umiinom ako, naku, ang sarap na ng tulog ko. Salamat Immune Advance. Mabuti na lang na-discover kita. Thank you.
Shop ni Lolita Daban, 46 years old, taga Kutog Grande de Mercedes Isabela. Dati-dati naregatan nak nga maturog tata nagimas mit iturog kon. Agyaman nak mit detang intid da kanyak immune advance. Padasin nyo immune advance nalaing sobrat na itulong na tibagit. Thank you.
Libubot buwak 50 anyos, taga District 1, Benito Sulibin, Isabela. Manay po dinagtumarak iti immune advance, talaga mariknak iti bagik nga mayat. Mayat ti pan naturog ko, kayan pumiksa akpay. Idi gamin, adda iti rabi nga dya makaturturog. Ngumi dinagtumarak iti immune advance, isumutan si mayat ti pan naturog ko. Sungado kayat yung mayat ti pumiksa, kayan mayat ti pan naturog na, agtumar kayo ti immune advance, awan ti side effect na, tunay nga organic.
Nung bata po ako, may asthma po ako. Tapos po, nung simulan ko po uminom po ng products po ng Immune Advance, ay naging mabuti po yung aking katawan. And nakatulog po ako ng maayos. And nawawala po yung hika ko po. Kaya po sa mga kagaya ko po na may asthma, Immune Advance na lang po yung inumin niyo. Ako nga po pala si Casey Betty Talagtag, 19 taon na gulang, nakatira sa Payatas. Ito pong Immune Advance, nagtataglay po ito ng malunggay, dagundi, vitamin C, and zinc na nakakabuti sa ating immune system.
Immune Advance, alagang totoo, alagang natural, mabibili sa Lazada, Shopee at sa inyong mga suking parmasya, sa mga drugstore, sa inyong mga lugar.
Araw-araw ang digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
This time, ladies and gents, to give us a message of inspiration and a bit of background as to why we are gathered here this afternoon, and to formally introduce our keynote speaker today, let us have the regional president of the Global Peace Foundation Asia Pacific, Mr. Engel Ra.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow advocates for peace and progress, members of the media. Very good morning to all of you. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
I feel like I'm in Korea. Today, as we gather here for the Global Peace Media Forum, we find ourselves as a pivotal moment in history. We stand amidst the immense strengths of the Philippines. Young and dynamic populations. I already saw a lot of young minds here. And a lot of very experienced young people as well. A thriving managerial class, abundant natural resources, deeply rooted Christian and global values. I like your national mottos. Can you recite me? Together with me? Ready?
Ready?
Maka Dios!
Makadiyos,
Makatao!
makatao,
Makakalikasan!
makakalikas,
Makabansa!
makabansa.
And also strategic locations that connects us to the world. As articulated in our National motto, it is our solemn duty to harness these resources for the greater good. So our presence here today is part of the Global Peace Convention 2023, a significant event scheduled to take place from December 10 to 14, 2023 at Marriott Hotel, Manila. The theme of 2023, One Family Under God, Vision of National Transformation and Civilizational Peace, reminds us of the divine, originally human rights and freedom. It calls upon us to usher in a new era of peace and transformation with the Philippines at the forefront. The role of the media in this transformative journey cannot be overstated. In our interconnected world, both conventional and social media possesses the power to spread positivity and ignite change. We must embrace this potential as a platform for inspiration, education, and unity. Let us recognize the profound power of media to share stories of individuals, stories of communities making a profound differences, fostering a sense of collective purpose. Together, we can counter negativity with kindness, empathy, and undeniable facts. Use our media voices, members of the media today, to raise awareness about pressing issues and advocate for meaningful solutions. Always remember, every post, every article, every footage, every story, every message has the potential to create a ripple effect of a positivity that transcends not only the screen, TV screen, not only the screen of your cell phone, ultimately transforming lives across the breadth of humanity. As we embark on this inspirational journey, today we have the privilege of welcoming our keynote speaker, whose contributions to global initiatives have been truly inspirational. Mr. Young-Jun Kim, a man of vision and action, has served as special assistant to the Dr. Preston Preston Moon, who is the founder and then chairman of the Global Peace Foundation and the Family Peace Association. Dr. Moon is celebrated as a charismatic visionary of the 21st century. And Mr. Kim has played a pivotal role in amplifying his transformative work. Mr. Kim's educational journey began at the Seoul National University, where he studied electrical engineering and continued with an MBA from Yonsei University, showcasing his commitment to academic excellence and continuous learning. In 2009, his leadership was instrumental as he was appointed as the international president of the Global Peace Foundation. He paved unprecedented path, establishing the foundation for the Global Peace Foundation's impact in 24 countries around the world. Not content with his achievements in the peacebuilding area, Mr. King also served as the Vice President of the Family Peace Association. His visionary leadership embarked the significance of family values intertwined with the universal principles and values. Currently, Mr. King holds the esteemed position of Vice Chairman at the renowned media entity, United Press International. In this role, he travels tirelessly around the world, strengthening global media network based on shared vision and aspirations. He advocates peace with a deep sense of responsibility, using the power of media to amplify the message of unity and harmony. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Young Kim, Vice Chairman of the United Press International, a visionary leader who continues to inspire us all with his dedication to global peace and progress. Mr. Young Kim.
Patutuon ng ating mga kababayan na natulungan ng Immune Advance.
Ako po si Ronald Adbincula na taga Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija. Security guard. Simula po nung nasubukan ko itong Immune Advance, naging mahimbing po yung aking pagtulog at yung aking appetite po. Lumakas po ako sa pagkain. Kung ganun gaya nung dati na talagang nalalambot po ako nung hindi ko pa po nainom itong food supplement nito. Start po nung nainom ko to, lumakas po. Saka yung resistensya ko po medyo nagkaroon po ng energetic. Dito po sa food supplement ng Immune Advance, maganda po talaga. Salamat Immune Advance.
Ako si Yoli Mabasa, senior citizen, retired banker ng Ilagan, Isabela. Alam nyo, dati ang nararamdaman ko, nagpapalpitate ako. Sinubukan ko yung Immune Advance. Aba, nawala na yung palpitation ko. Gumaan pa ang pakiramdam ko. At saka simula noon, tuwing umiinom ako, naku, ang sarap na ng tulog ko. Salamat Immune Advance. Mabuti na lang na-discover kita. Thank you.
Shop ni Lolita Daban, 46 years old, taga Kutog Grande de Mercedes, Isabela. Dati-dati naregatan nak nga maturog, tata nagimas mit titurog kon. Agyaman nak mit daytang impid da kanyak Immune Advance. Padasin nyo Immune Advance. Nalaing, sobrat na itulong na tibagit. Thank you.
Ni Bubut Buwak 50 anyos, taga District 1, Benito Sulibin, Isabela. Manipo dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, talaga mariknak iti bagik nga mayat. Mayat ti pan naturog ko, kayon pumiksa akpay. Idi gamin, adda iti rabi nga dya makaturturog. Ngumi dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, isumutan si mayat ti pan naturog ko. Sungado kayat yung mayat ti pumiksa, kayon mayat ti pan naturog na, agtumar kayo ti Immune Advance, awan ti side effect na, tunay nga organic.
Nung bata po ako, may asthma po ako. Tapos po, nung simulan ko po uminom po ng products po ng Immune Advance, ay naging mabuti po yung aking katawan. And nakatulog po ako ng maayos. And nawawala po yung higa ko po. Kaya po sa mga kagaya ko po na may asthma, Immune Advance na lang po yung inumin niyo. Ako nga po pala si Casey Petit Talagtag, 19 taon na gulang, nakatira sa Payatas. Ito pong Immune Advance, nagtataglay po ito ng malunggay, dagundi, vitamin C, and zinc na nakakabuti sa ating immune system.
Immune Advance, alagang totoo, alagang natural, mabibili sa Lazada, Shopee at sa inyong mga suking parmasya, sa mga drugstore, sa inyong mga lugar.
Araw-araw ang digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Sa Katipunan Channel.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to be with you here in the Philippines for this significant media forum in the theme of Vision for National Transformation and a Civilization of Peace. First, I want to thank Dr. Nona Sardana Kapul, Chairwoman of Global Peace in Philippines, Mr. Yura, Regional President of Global Peace Foundation, Asia Pacific, Professor Jose Maria H. Hilario, Professor of Sociology, Economics, and Business Administration at the University of the Philippines, Mrs. Neng Julio Camano, National Chairperson of Federation of International Cable TV and Telecommunication Association of the Philippines, as well as Mr. Aldrin Ituma, President of Global Peace Foundation Philippines, for convening this important forum. I am also pleased to acknowledge all esteemed speakers. Your participation is very meaningful as the media's role in peace building becomes more critical than ever before. Before we talk about freedom of the press, let me first ask a question. What is a serious challenge that the media is facing today? The erosion of trust and credibility of media. According to Digital News Report 2022, published by Reuters, an average of 42%, less than half of the people from 46 nations trust news. The lowest coming from the US with only 26%. In this digital age, social media platforms have its pros of conveniently providing us with instant access to information. But our society has a growing perception of media arrogance and untrustworthiness. We are all remember when the media was once revered as the guardian of truth and the voice of the people. How should we bring this back? How can we rebuild the bridge between the media and the people who's lost trust? We must understand the why behind this lost trust and growing skepticism. And it seems that everyone here already recognized that why. Let's go over them. First is media bias. Because many news outlets are often associated with specific political leanings, the public feels the objectivity and impartiality have been compromised. The Pew Research Center surveyed 38 countries in 2018, where a median of 75% said it is never acceptable for a news organization to favor one political party over others when reporting news. It is a widely accepted opinion that a news presented with a particular agenda or bias undermines the trustworthiness of the media and creates an atmosphere of skepticism. Next is commercialization of the media. In the pursuit of high profits and ratings, media organizations are susceptible to prioritizing sensationalism over authenticity. This sensationalism can easily lead to exaggeration and manipulation of facts. As a result, the public feels misled and betrayed.
Furthermore, the rise of misinformation and fake news also contributed to the erosion of trust in media. In the age of social media and instant access to information, anyone can become a content creator and spread information without proper verification. This flood of unverified and biased information causes confusion, distrust, and the questioning of the credibility of media sources. We need to see these very serious challenges in none other than a moral and ethical perspective. The freedom of the press is at hand. Imagine that some external forces, external factors like government oppression, legal restrictions, economic pressures, or violence and intimidation are allowed to limit freedom of the press. It will most likely be destroyed altogether. I heard a broadcaster was shot dead 2 days ago. This kind of tragedy never be allowed or tolerated. My sincere condolences goes to the family of the victims. On the other hand, if the journalists themselves compromise the code of ethics and lose control, it will also result in the loss of freedom of the press. The act of producing biased, monetized, and unverified news reports caused by the lack or loss of moral responsibility will undermine and eventually destroy the freedom of the press from within. Media has great power. It's a double-sided sword. It can be used for tremendous good or tremendous destruction. When it is employed properly, there's empathy, harmony, and happiness, because it serves as the voice of the people to share their concerns, stories, and aspirations, all while holding those in power accountable. Furthermore, the press plays a crucial role in informing the public. Because the press plays such a critical role in any democratic free nation, it is often described as free. However, when it is misused, there is a great confusion and even human suffering. Especially a paradigm of ideology and agenda-driven news reporting greatly influences the culture and even the national psyche. It creates a certain reality, whether or not it represents a true reality, around which individuals organize their thoughts, beliefs, and in some cases, their lives. Therefore, the answer to this dilemma is that the great power of the media must be wielded with self-imposed integrity and discipline. When there's a little outside control, the only person standing between yourself and the abuse of your power is you. Freedom is indeed one of the most precious gifts from the Creator. Men are created to be free spiritual beings. But when God created man free, He also gave man responsibility. Freedom requires self-discipline and self-control. Ladies and gentlemen, freedom is bound by law. There are physical and spiritual laws at work in the universe. They are the ultimate limits of freedom. However, not like physical laws of nature that govern the visual world and our bodies, the spiritual laws are not so obvious, yet they are as absolute as the physical laws. To recognize spiritual law, we must recognize a man as a spiritual being created by God. God, the Creator alone, sets the spiritual laws and determines the purpose of creation. The purpose of human life and how human beings can fulfill that purpose of life have been already determined by God. This is the foundation
of absolute value. From this absolute value foundation, moral principles emerge. These moral principles comprise the spiritual law. In other words, a man as a spiritual being has a God-given purpose of life to fulfill during a life on earth and is bound by spiritual law. The first responsibility of human being is to exercise this freedom to preserve our value given by God and to fulfill the purpose of human life determined by the Creator in accord with the basic moral principles. All of us, therefore, before we are journalists or any other kind of professional, are first human beings. To be a great journalist, one must be a great human being, living in accord with the moral law of God. Therefore, the challenge of journalism starts from the challenge of being a moral and righteous man. For the journalist, freedom of the press must be exercised according to certain moral standards, which are the common ground for all free men. This is where the importance of responsibility in media comes in. Certainly, the media must be free and must be self-governing. And a self-governing media must also be a moral media. Democracy cannot be exercised without a free press. And a free press cannot be truly free unless exercised with moral responsibility. A moral media uses freedom to protect, preserve, and promote God-given human rights and dignity. Thomas Jefferson wrote, quote, "The press is the best instrument for enlightening the mind of man and improving him as a rational, moral, and social being," unquote. Therefore, the media must stand at the very forefront in defense of human dignity and freedom, and the crusade against all forms of injustice and oppression. And it must act as a catalyst for social change and conflict resolution. Through unbiased reporting, the media can shed light on the root causes of conflicts, challenge divisive narratives, and promote dialogue between conflicting parties. Furthermore, in the service of morality, the media must oppose corruption and racism and vindicate the unjustly accused. Doing this is the best possible way to ensure world peace. True peace can only be obtained when the viewpoint of each nation is raised to the highest perspective of true values. When we live to benefit and enrich others, we benefit ourselves the most. This simple yet profound truth may be called the formula for peace. The achievement of this goal is far more likely to be determined by the work of the media than the military might. And more than political, economic, or academic measures, the impact of the press is the most immediate on our society. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of free press is to nurture the mind, communicate ideas, challenge ideologies, share notions, inspire creativity, and advocate and reinforce universal principles and values. And a moral media must lead the fight against drug abuse, pornography, and many other destructive vices of our society. Thus, the media must become the conscience of society. A moral press, governed by journalists of integrity, self-discipline, and wisdom based on moral principles, must make a contribution to bringing about moral society, because a peaceful world is possible based on the creation of moral, ethical boundaries. The great power of media must be exercised for the purpose of good. The media, as a guardian of truth and a champion of freedom, must add its efforts to those of all others who are working for peace and must exercise its tremendous influence for bringing about the idea of humanity united as one family. I have no doubt that the Philippines has unyielding power to bring about fundamental transformation that will impact not only this nation, but also Asia Pacific region and beyond. And you are not just journalists, but the leaders who can make the difference. So let us all commit to march boldly forward, leading the way for the benefit of all humanity in realizing an ethical world of peace based on universal principles and values. May God bless you and your family. Thank you very much.
Once again, ladies
Sa Katipunan Channel.
And holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Patutuon ng ating mga kababayan na natulungan ng Immune Advance.
Ako po si Ronald Advincula na taga Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija. Security guard. Simula po nung nasubukan ko itong Immune Advance, naging mahimbing po yung aking pagtulog at yung aking appetite po. Lumakas po ako sa pagkain. Kung ganun gaya nung dati na talagang nalalambot po ako nung hindi ko pa po nainom itong food supplement nito. Start po nung nainom ko to, lumakas po. Saka yung resistensya ko po medyo nagkaroon po ng energetic. Dito po sa food supplement ng Immune Advance, maganda po talaga. Salamat Immune Advance.
Ako si Yoli Mabasa, senior citizen, retired banker ng Ilagan, Isabela. Alam nyo, dati ang nararamdaman ko, nagpapalpitate ako. Sinubukan ko yung Immune Advance. Aba, nawala na yung palpitation ko. Gumaan pa ang pakiramdam ko. At saka simula noon, tuwing umiinom ako, naku, ang sarap na ng tulog ko. Salamat Immune Advance. Mabuti na lang na-discover kita. Thank you.
Shop ni Lolita Daban, 46 years old, taga Kutog Grande de Mercedes, Isabela. Dati-dati naregatan nak nga maturog, tata nagimas mit iturog kon. Pagyaman nak mit daytang intid da kanyak Immune Advance. Padasin nyo Immune Advance nalaing. Sobrat na itulong na tibagit. Thank you.
Ni Bubut Buwak 50 anyos, taga District 1, Benito Sullivan, Isabela. Manay po dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, talaga mariknak iti bagik nga mayat. Mayat ti pan naturog ko, kayon pumiksa akpay. Idi gamin, adda iti rabi nga dya makaturturog. Ngumidi nagtumarak iti Immune Advance, isumutan si mayat ti pan naturog ko. Sungado kayat yung mayat ti pumiksa, ken mayat ti pan naturog na, agtumar kayo ti Immune Advance, awan ti side effect na, tunay nga organic.
Nung bata po ako, may asthma po ako. Tapos po, nung simulan ko po uminom po ng products po ng Immune Advance, ay naging mabuti po yung aking katawan. And nakatulog po ako ng maayos. And nawawala po yung hika ko po. Kaya po sa mga kagaya ko po na may asthma, immune advance na lang po yung inumin niyo. Ako nga po pala si Casey Petty Talagtag, 19 taon na gulang, nakatira sa Payatas. Ito pong immune advance, nagtataglay po ito ng malunggay, dagundi, vitamin C, and zinc na nakakabuti sa ating immune system.
Immune Advance, alagang totoo, alagang natural, mabibili sa Lazada, Shopee at sa inyong mga suking parmasya, sa mga drugstore sa inyong mga lugar.
Hello. Thank you, Global Peace Foundation, in particular to Dr. Nonali Kapor, for inviting me. Asan si Ma'am? Who invited me to be one of the guest speakers in this prestigious event. Also, we would like to say thank you to our special guest, Mr. Ingrid Ra and Mr. Yang Jun Kim. Of course, I'm very grateful. I met very close friend of my late son, Secretary Olaman. Thank you. And of course, Ma'am Senator Sunny Alvarez. Good afternoon. It is my distinct pleasure to address this plenary session on the role of broadcast media in inducing a culture of peace, and together with the Global Peace Foundation, I believe that the path to peace has a better start within the family and the home. It is in our respective homes that families can create an environment of love and respect for others. An environment devoid of the culture of impunity that we have been witness to in the road rage that happens, in the culture of violence that we have seen in social media and in our TV screens and heard in our radio programs. For this plenary session, may we suggest a program, modesty aside, an advocacy that will develop respect within the homes and families, and later on to communities and to the national consciousness, to instill in our hearts the need for respect and love and empathy with our fellow men. We Filipinos have a distinct culture where we take the hands of our parents and our elders and our leaders and place them on our forehead as a sign of respect and love. We have a term for this, pagmamano. This is a part of our culture, and unfortunately, this sign of respect and love has been forgotten. Let us then begin a program, and for our ALC Aliu Media Group of the CSI, we will begin a campaign showing the young putting the hand of their elders on their forehead as a sign of respect and love, and with the words and blossom on deep spring. Magmano, magmano ka naman. Actually, the Global Peace Foundation can sponsor a program that will showcase the best rendition of such a TV ad and a companion radio program that will dwell on the revival of this very Filipino culture. Magpano ka naman? And for this, we thank Justice Raul Victorino, who dwelt on this Filipino tradition for its unique, rich. We believe that by asking our children, nagmano ka na ba? We will be developing a citizenry who love and respect their elders. That love and respect will ultimately lead to a culture of peace and denying our citizens videos that became viral showing instances of violence and road rages and the like. Nagmano ka naman and resonate within our homes, cascade to our communities, blossom later to provinces and regions, and pulsate in the nation at large, and possibly start a peace caravan that could later result in the transformation of weapons of war into implements of peace. The Global Peace Foundation in this respect. Asa si Dr. Araso? Wala pa rin. Thank you for inviting us. The Global Peace Foundation in this respect can start the ball rolling in this initiative to revive the distinct Filipino culture where the catchword, nagmano ka naman, is echoed within the homes and vibrates to other homes and then to the communities. It is in our family, after all, that the revival of this culture that develops love and respect can have a start. When our children get to practice this culture that develops love and respect for our elders, their hearts will be filled with so much empathy and concern for their development that any hint of violence will be emptied from their hearts. I remember with fondness the way my dad, the late Ambassador Antonio Cabao Chua, took the hand of his elders and placed the same in his forehead. Later on, when he became the representative to Laos, Ambassador to Laos, he taught me how a Lao greeting is made. And that is with a palm together with a smile, plus the greeting. Sabbath day. Each nation has a different way of greeting. There is the Eskimo Nusra, the head bow, the palm together, the handshake. We Filipinos have a better way of greeting, and it conveys love, respect. We take the hand of our elder and place it in our forehead. That's it. This Filipino tradition is more than a greeting. It speaks of honor. It conveys love. It transmits hope. It echoes respect. With all this ingrained in that singular act, peace will be in our hearts. Now you know why I'm wearing bangong. Nagmano ka ba? Salamat. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dominic Edward.
Umaga't gabi, sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Make weekends and holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
The National Board of Directors of ThinkTap is also the General Manager of the AB Bejerano Cable TV and Associates, Vice President of Operations of Zymogen Medical Company. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the Director and Press Relations Officer of ThinkTap, Mr. Joseph R. Bejerano.
Distinguished guests, leaders of the Philippine government, media sectors, Mr. Ram, and Mr. King, and of course to Dr. Alona, esteemed colleagues in the broadcast, television, print, publications, and social media. I am Joseph Bejerano, President of ABB Cable TV in Tuklasin, and the Director for Public Relations of the Federation of International Cable Television Association of the Philippines. Today, I join you in behalf of our beloved Chairperson, Ms. Estrelita Juliano Tamano, and Global Peace Vice President and ThinkTap Vice President, Dr. Cecilia Lamagrinti, in my humble accord to, of course, share my vision and strategies on how to induce and help attain peace through cable television and Wi-Fi industry. And I have prepared few slides here, sir, para masundan niyo. The state of the Philippine cable television industry, I would like to share something now. About 25 years ago, the cable television business was a burgeoning business. Ibig sabihin, medyo nakikita, it's a good business back then. Especially in the 3rd to 6th municipalities throughout our 7,100 islands archipelago, providing televised programs through cable network spread through poles as the pioneering cable operators could reach. So we came from the last mile. Most of our members came from the provinces, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And we would buy the content from local and lately foreign providers to combine these community news, information bits, and local programming, and try to duplicate the program of our big television brothers here in the cities. And with the advent of digital technology, when families and children could view films, news, and education modules from their cell phones, the cable industry was in the brink of extinction. But with the foresight and the direction of our federated leadership, headed by, of course, our chairman, Ma'am Estelita Camano, and the Vice President, Dr. Cecilia Madrid B, our Director for Luzon, and Tony Silvioniguez of the Visayas, and Mr. King Galicia of Mindanao, and our Board of Directors, we all agreed that the next thing to do is just to sell connectivity and Wi-Fi subscriptions. And the rest is history. And even at the height of the global pandemic, the cable television industry survived because it was no longer just cable TV, but Wi-Fi subscriptions and connectivity. And cable television as an instrument of pursuit of global peace, in the fundamental pursuit of peace to sustain stability in our communities, in grateful appreciation of our blessings. How can the Philippine cable television and Wi-Fi provider industry could not help global peace? Number one, the vital connectivity conduits programming, especially in the remote barrios and provincial countryside. Our federation has always been committed to showcase value-filled and wholesome programs, because we know that what families see in their television, in that black box in your sala, influence their way of thinking and even their way of life. In our number two, in our community news programs, we have our own channels that we produce. We would focus and have sections on promoting and emphasizing the good in every man. For example, a local news, honest delivery boys, heroic firemen, peace conciliators in the community, to serve as a role model for every fragile and vulnerable minds of our sensitive and perceptive youth. We shall proactively promote a culture of peace, even in the way we conduct business, deal with our clients, suppliers, colleagues, industry, and achieving happy solutions and meaningful compromises into a win-win situations. Our fourth strategy is to, through our connectivity access, we shall encourage the showing of peace modalities, whether
as situational telenovela, documentaries, as interviews, or as practical day-to-day news, so that we can inculcate a continuing modality and lore of peace in our respective communities, some of which have mixed geo-ethnic and racial backgrounds, religious beliefs, and various ideologies. So fifth, we shall continue to, of course, interface with the big television and explore continuing ways of capitalizing and broadcast as well as social media to generate attention towards strategies. When we all began as a humble cable TV operators, we are also fragile, that we thought we will not survive the onslaught of rapid changing technology. Thanks to our leadership vision, our foresight, and our tenacity and patience at work, proving, as they say, we are all able to surpass hurdles, challenges, and difficult financial and economic times. Tried and tested as we are, we shall also be warriors for peace in our respective communities, because with peace, our children can continue going to school, online or face-to-face. Our families can continue to develop livelihood and alternative income pursuits, and we can sustain the vital forces in our respective communities. The proper maintenance and care of our forests, our foreshore, oceanic and agricultural environments. Just like the fierce warrior of the Cordilleras, where I came from, we can lay down our spears and headhunter knives and revert the sacred way of peace, because in peace there is harmony, and in peace there is prosperity. Maraming salamat po. Magandang hapon. Hindi ako po. Thank you.
Once again, the Director and Press Relations Officer of PITAM, Mr. Joseph R. Vigarano. I'd like to request our representative or President of GPF Asia Pacific to do the honor of giving the same certificate and token. Thus, ladies and gentlemen, ends or concludes the first plenary session. And we are going to move to the second plenary session titled The Convincing Role of Print Media.
And holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Filipino Academy of Movie Arts and Science Awards for famously called Tamas. Right? She was a former board member of the MTRCB and also served as the charter president of the Quezon City Masalawit Executive Lions Club. Let us all welcome Ms. Francia Camacho Conrado. Every round of applause.
distinguished guests from government and civil society, prominent leaders and moguls of Asian and Philippine media industries, colleagues in the media profession, ladies and gentlemen, a most pleasant and auspicious day to you all. I was indeed honored when I received a call from our Director Ronnie Hilario on behalf of our convener for this most significant media forum, Dr. Lola Nicoport, and for the Global Peace Foundation. But before I proceed with my 10-page speech, I'd like to introduce FAMAS for those who doesn't know FAMAS yet. FAMAS stands for Filipino Academy of Movie Arts and Sciences, which we call short FAMAS Awards. Modesty aside, we are a 72-year-old institution, the most pioneering, the oldest, and the longest award-giving body in the Philippines and in Asia. Modesty aside, we are regarded as the Philippines' answer to Oscars Award. Now, I'd like to discuss the role of movies, documentaries, and film in the promotion of peace. In the broadcast media, which of course includes the production of films, commercial movies, and now the most pervasively documentaries, play an important and crucial role in the promotion and maintenance of global peace. Why is this so? Well, the Hollywood and the hinterlands and highlands of the remotest part of the Philippines and in the jungles of Africa, and those that whenever people have access to films and movies, such as Netflix, which is now available via digital technology. People are simply starstruck and mesmerized by what they see on the silver screen. One, because from the handsome actors and beautiful actresses playing heroes and villains respectively, delivering their most memorable lines. From time immemorial, when Scarlett O'Hara uttered, "I shall never go hungry again," in the movie classics Gone with the Wind. Or the little prince, Anthony, "You are what you take," in Antoinette, Sauli's best-selling novel turned into a blockbuster film. The eternal, almost real galactic wars between the forces of good and evil in Star Wars and in the Marvel movies and the like, and the inroads and allegorical allusions to the proverbial search for peace, such as the most recent heart-wrenching South Korean production of Creator, a masterpiece which showed the ruggedness of the biological man versus the spirit of the artificial intelligence, which guides its heart out for love and peace. I guess we can show a trailer of the Creator here. We will play it for you.
When the war started, they protected me. Took better care of me than humans would.
Our people lie. It's just programming.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles. This is a fight for our very existence.
Sergeant Taylor, you're this close to winning the war. But the AI are developing a super weapon. Retrieve it. Or they win.
you locate the weapon?
Yeah, it's just a kid.
Are you going to heaven?
No. You're a good person to go to heaven.
So, we're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
Do you have any idea what the thing is?
She looks like a little girl now, but she's growing. Whoever has that kid wins the war.
Thank you, okay?
What do you want, sweetie? For robots to be free. Oh, we don't have that in the fridge. How about ice cream?
Okay. This creator is somehow bugging me for quite some time because I would say there would come a time that we get to make movies out of robots or artificial intelligence. So with that, we will not be leaving actors and actresses, beautiful and handsome as they are. And what is very good with this artificial intelligence, we can inject all the goodness one or a child has to see the movie. Because the artificial intelligence being used in this movie are the ones who are really going to what is really good and what is right. And the humans are the ones injecting that is not so good. Why do we have to do that? Because you just have to say that humans are capable of doing wrong. And the wrong it must be, probably there are audiences for those that really are expecting those kind of movies. They're not so good, but in their perspective, in their perception, it's really, really good. It depends on how they are reared, how they have grown up to be like a good one or the bad one. It's just that. Anyway, thank you almost your galactic first between the first and the evil has already been discussed. And somehow the silver screen, once it involves you, be it in the dark and theater or in the company of family watching or 65, which is television at home, panoramic television, it becomes a temporal reality. Let me talk about the hubris, the catharsis, and the butterfly effect. The hubris is the excessive pride or confidence we gain out of watching a movie. As though we can do what the heroes can do, and therefore we emulate positively or otherwise. The catharsis, on the other hand, meanwhile is the process of releasing pent-up, strong, or repressed emotions, specifically after watching a high-impact movie. Therefore, the action towards peace, if the cathartic trigger is properly used. The butterfly effect. In chaos, theory is the sensitive dependence on initial condition in which a small change in one state or nonlinear system can result in large differences or change in a later state. Where the literal flapping of the wings of a butterfly can create a tornado, and a single droplet of water can literally generate a tidal wave somewhere. There are some of those emotions generated by the power of films in movies, harnessing the power of film and visual media for the inducement and attainment of world peace. How then we do harness the power of visual media to induce world peace? First, let us use the influence of the powerful medium to promote positive values. In our case, for instance, at the FAMAS Award or the Filipino Academy of Movie Arts and Sciences, where we nominate and select the best quality Filipino films for a particular year. And one of the pivotal criteria is the promotion of good and wholesome values, such as the family-based stories, Ang Tanging Yaman, winner, starring Gloria Romero in the latest, the FAMAS Best Picture for this year, starring Joel Trinidad and Lisa Lorena, star Family Matters. In both films, we exemplify the wholesomeness and tender bonding of the Filipino family, which leads to realization and the inducement of peace and reconciliation in the family, the basic core unit of the society. Second, if we use the ingenious tools of digital technology, cartoon graphics, animation, let us somehow expose the good and the better in every character. Let us make heroes out of the righteous, and even in the villains, if they inform themselves as the story unfolds. Third, in the development of storylines, we can always inject the culture of peace, reconciliation, and conflict resolution. Don't you feel happy when the protagonist survives the war, befriends the enemy, lives a new life after a significant resolution of conflicts taking place in the loss of surrender of the third force? Yet, storylines of late become more sophisticated. They are not just contentions or conflicts between good and evil. Sometimes the seeming good is the evil, and the seeming evil is actually the good. A movie trick and deception to mesmerize the audience. Notwithstanding, at the end of the 2-hour visual spectacle, somehow the truth prevails, and the human spirit always wants a wholesome winner, a positive survivor, a peaceful resolution to the wars between tribes, empires, and galaxies. In our case here in Asia and in the Philippines in particular. Let us make use of these underlying principles in content management, so that at the end of the day, our viewers are not misled in the information of their engraved assimilated values. Rather, these values should be confirmed and affirmed. Rather, that this become the rules of termination of a genuine culture of peace. As the song goes, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Congratulations to all media practitioners who have come for today's most timely forum, as hosted by the Global Peace Foundation. Because by virtue of the Doppler effect, when our more sublime senses and sensibilities are triggered by a good or positively cathartic moving. The wave of energies responds accordingly, and the Doppler effect becomes the ripple effect. Create a sound and generate a peaceful revolution. Drop a bullet, and the sound reverberates. Chant the peace of mantra, and the world will celebrate. Good afternoon and happy peaceful vibrations to one and all from the Filipino Academy of Movie Arts and Sciences. Maraming salamat.
Once again, the President of Congress, Ms. Francia Camacho Colorado, please name out for the awarding of token and certificate. And of course, our lead convener, Dr. Donna Ford, assisted by the original president of the Global Peace Foundation Asia Pacific, Mr. Angel Ram. And we'll continue to hope that FAMAS will continue to recognize movies, arts that will actually promote peace, family values, respect, especially that these platforms are so powerful in shaping our minds, influencing the minds of the people. Thank you so much once again, President of FAMAS, Ms. Francia Camacho Colorado. Big round of applause, please. And to close the first
Digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Patutuon ng ating mga kababayan na natulungan ng Immune Advance.
Ako po si Ronald Advincula na taga Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija. Security guard. Simula po nung nasubukan ko itong Immune Advance, naging mahimbing po yung aking pagtulog at yung aking appetite po. Lumakas po ako sa pagkain. Kung ganun ka gaya nung dati na talagang nalalambot po ako nung hindi ko pa po nainom itong food supplement nito. Start po nung nainom ko to, lumakas po. Saka yung resistensya ko po medyo nagkaroon po ng energetic. Dito po sa food supplement ng Immune Advance, maganda po talaga. Salamat Immune Advance.
Ako si Yoli Mabasa, senior citizen, retired banker ng Ilagan, Isabela. Alam nyo, dati ang nararamdaman ko, nagpapalpitate ako. Sinubukan ko yung Immune Advance. Aba, nawala na yung palpitation ko. Gumaan pa ang pakiramdam ko. At saka simula noon, tuwing umiinom ako, naku, ang sarap na ng tulog ko. Salamat Immune Advance. Mabuti na lang na-discover kita. Thank you.
Siya ni Lolita Daban, 46 years old, taga Kutog Grande de Mercedes, Isabela. Dati-dati narigatan nak nga maturog, tata nagimas mit titurog kon. Agyaman nak mit daytang impid da kanyak. Immune Advance. Padasin nyo Immune Advance na laing. Sobrat na itulong na tibagit. Thank you.
Libubot buwak 50 anyos, taga District 1, Benito Sullivan, Isabela. Manay po dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, talaga mariknak iti bagik nga mayat. Mayat tipan naturog ko, kayon pumiksa akpay. Idi gamin, adda iti rabi nga di makaturturog. Ngumidi nagtumarak iti Immune Advance, isumutan si mayat tipan naturog ko. Sungado kayat yung mayat ti pumiksa, kayon mayat tipan naturog na, agtumar kayo ti Immune Advance, awan ti side effect na, tunay nga organic.
Nung bata po ako, may asthma po ako. Tapos po, nung simulan ko po uminom po ng products po ng Immune Advance, ay naging mabuti po yung aking katawan. And nakatulog po ako ng maayos. And nawawala po yung higa ko po. Kaya po sa mga kagaya ko po na may asthma, Immune Advance na lang po yung inumin niyo. Ako nga po pala si Casey Betty Talagtag, 19 taon na gulang, nakatira sa Payatas. Ito pong Immune Advance, nagtataglay po ito ng malunggay, lagundi, vitamin C, and zinc na nakakabuti sa ating immune system.
Lagundi! Tiwala ako!
Immune Advance, alagang totoo, alagang natural. Mabibili sa Lazada, Shopee at sa inyong mga suking parmasya, sa mga drugstore, sa inyong mga lugar.
Araw-araw ang digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Our next speaker is the Executive Vice President of the Kapisanan ng mga Broadcasters ng Pilipinas from January 2018 to present for 9 years. For 4 years and 9 months, sorry. Our speaker started as the Secretary of KBP Quezon Lucena chapter for 2 years. 2 years as its Vice Chairman and 2 years as Chairman. appointed as one of the directors of the Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas Standards Authority and served for 9 years until to tell President, 8 years and 7 months in the service, and LO President Junior Chamber International Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Vice President of the Kapisanan ng Broadcasters ng Pilipinas, Mr. Noel C. Calvez.
Thank you very much. Mr. Youngjun Kim, Vice Chairman of United Press International, Dr. Nona Ricafort, President of Global Peace Women, Mr. Ingil Ra, good to see you again, Mr. Regional President, Global Peace Foundation Asia Pacific, honorable guests, fellow speakers, participants from the different sectors, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When Secretary Sani Coloma asked for our undivided attention, it reminded me of the time when we had to wait for a TV program like it was a scheduled meeting, and that we should be there or else we would miss it. But now we have podcasts and videos on demand. I will not be surprised, Mr. Secretary, if some of us will be watching your speech on social media on our free time. Friends, today we gather in this so-called session to explore the profound impact of social media and digital technology in promoting peace in simultaneous and real time. It is a momentous occasion as the interconnected world we live in has given us new tools to work towards a more harmonious and peaceful global community. Next slide, please. Let us begin by acknowledging the immense influence of social media and digital technology in shaping public perception, facilitating dialogue, and raising awareness about pressing issues. These tools have become integral in the pursuit of peace. Next slide, please. We must recognize the power of real-time information dissemination. Social media allows us to share information instantaneously, providing us with the ability to respond swiftly to emerging conflicts and crises and to spread messages of peace far and wide. Next slide, please. Yet, this digital age communication is not without its challenges. Previous slide. The spread of misinformation, cyberbullying, and digital divides are hurdles we must overcome in our quest for peace. We must remember that media shapes minds and media shapes lives. And now more than ever, the potential of digital media must be used for a greater purpose. Next slide, please. Collaboration and strategic partnerships are key. Governments, civil society, and the private sector must work together to harness the full potential of social media and technology to promote peace. Next slide, please. It is our responsibility to counterbalance negativity with positive narratives and initiatives, highlighting stories of individuals and communities working tirelessly for peace. Next slide. Education and empowerment are essential. We must ensure that digital citizens are well informed and possess the critical thinking skills needed to discern credible information from falsehoods. Our company, Vanguard Radio Network, has a free legal assistance program called Basta Batas, or All About News, or all about legal program, legalities. which airs over the brands Big Sound FM, Big Radio, DZXO, and DWMG in Cabanatuan, Baguio, La Union, Kawayan, Tuguegarao, Orlando, Mindoro, and Tagbilaran, Bohol. But with the power of social media, we receive requests of help from different cities all over the country, and even in other countries where OFWs have legal questions. If you can click on the link, here's a sample clip of what we do. Can you click on the link, please? YouTube. No, you can click on the one below, youtube.com/bastabatas. Can you click on that? It's okay if you can. Anyway, we are using social media in addition to our core medium to educate the listeners and viewers about their rights so that they can become better citizens. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. Social media platforms should be harnessed for meaningful dialogues and fostering understanding among diverse groups, transcending geographical and cultural boundaries. Next, please. We cannot overlook ethical considerations and accountability in this digital landscape. It is our collective duty to uphold ethical standards and hold those who misuse technology accountable. We at the Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, or the Association of Broadcasters of the Philippines, uphold the Broadcast Code of the Philippines. KBP is composed of more or less 1,000 radio and television stations nationwide. We are discussing within our association how social media content creators can join us and uphold the said code of ethics as we serve the country. Next, please. Innovation can be a catalyst for peace. We should explore new technologies and approaches that can further our peace-building efforts. Next. I am reminded by a TikTok post of Joe Bonifacio about a lesson on changing the world around us. He said, the beautiful national parks in the United States safeguard so much of their natural wonders. But what was more amazing is that some of them are works of restoration. They were already depleted or destroyed by irresponsible practices about 100 years ago, but have been brought back to pristine beauty. If we can only show that video clip, it would be nice. But you know what? If 100 years ago, it was not possible to see full-grown trees in those areas, it may be the same with peace right now. But if we unite, peace will be attainable no matter how long it may take. So in conclusion, we must heed the call to action. Let us unite in our commitment to leveraging social media and digital technology as forces for good, promoting peace in simultaneous and real time. Our efforts here today have the potential to leave a lasting legacy of a more peaceful and connected world. Thank you.
Our family's in California right now, and my wife and I took the boys on this train ride through the forest. That's one of our sons and one of my best friends who was able to join us. And when the train ride started, the conductor said, 100 years ago, there were no trees to be seen in this whole area. All of them had been chopped down, sold, and no one was taking care of replanting them. But people back then couldn't stand for that. And despite what had already happened, they said, we'll take responsibility and we'll do our best to protect what is there, to plant new trees and to chop them down sustainably. And that's why 100 years later, we could enjoy this train ride through this beautiful forest. I turned to my oldest son and I said, you know, it can be sad when we look at the problems in the world today, but what could we start working on now that 100 years from now, it'll look totally different because people today start working on it. It made me think that changing the world doesn't usually look dramatic, doesn't usually get a lot of attention. What it looks like is just taking responsibility, being obedient where you are, and being faithful.
Our friends, my friends, your work, our work, will not go in vain. Let us all work together to unleash the power of social media and digital technology to make the world a better place for all. Thank you very much.
Once again, the Executive Vice President, Pakistan and the Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Mr. Noel C. Galvez. Life is not nicer than if we can unite. Peace is attainable. Thank you so much for the message. Moving on to our
Make weekends and holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Without any further ado, let's proceed to the second speaker for the second plenary. He served as a communications secretary under President Benigno C. Aquino III, head of the Presidential Management Staff, or PMS, under President Corazon C. Aquino, and Transportation and Communications Undersecretary under President Joseph Ejercito Estrada. He was Professor of Business Management at the ASEAN Institute of Management, or AIM, where he also served as Dean of Executive Education. He is the former president of the University of Makati. In the private sector, he is a senior executive of a commercial bank. Executive Vice President, the Manila Bullion Publishing Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Herminio Sonny B. Coloma Jr.
Thank you for that kind introduction. Pwede po ba akong maglambing sa inyong lahat? Pwede po bang habang ako ay nagsasalita, ay ihubol niyo sa akin ang inyong atensyon at pagpili. Dr. Mona Ricafort, Mr. Yongun Kim, Mr. Rap, distinguished guests, resource speakers, ladies and gentlemen, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Parang hindi na tayo naniniwala na si General Colin Powell had a simple formula for effective public speaking, consisting of 3 rules. Number 1, tell the audience what you will tell them. Number 2, tell them. Number 3, tell them what you just told them. I will tell you what I'm going to talk about. I will just mention 3 points, and I hope you remember all 3. But to contextualize our topic, let us refresh our memory and recall the difficulty we had during the height of the COVID pandemic, especially the period from March 2020 to March 2021,
when there was no vaccine. Our biggest enemy at that time was not the pandemic. Our biggest enemy was an infodemic. An infodemic of lies, fake news, and disinformation, which probably killed more people than the coronavirus itself. So this underlines to us the importance of being able to discern what is factual and what is true from what is not. That is our common responsibility. Because if we are unable to do this, we are unable to promote the ends of peace. As an exponent of Philippine progress since our founding in 1900, the Manila Bulletin is firmly committed to attaining peace. And we believe this to be achieved through three imperatives. The first imperative is to expose and oppose misinformation and disinformation. This can escalate tensions and conflict. So media must stand as a reliable source of accurate and verified information. At the Manila Bulletin, we take pains to verify the accuracy of the news that we publish. We are not interested in being the first to break out the news. We are committed to ensuring that the news we report is factual and accurate. By upholding journalistic integrity and fact-checking, we avert the spread of false narratives. In this way, the public is well informed, people are enabled to make sound decisions based on truth. Inform, inspire, empower are our three guideposts in the day-to-day gathering, evaluation, production, and distribution of our content. While digital acceleration has enabled us to overcome manifold challenges, it has also spawned many unsavory consequences, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure that we combat the enemies of truth. Our second imperative is to promote dialogue and understanding. The mass media serve as conduits for communication. Communication, this is my favorite definition of communication, it is a bridge of meaning over a river of misunderstanding. Ang komunikasyon po ay isang tulay ng kahulugan sa ibabaw ng ilog ng hindi pagkakaunawaan. Mukhang natutuwa si Ma'am Alvarez. Media serves as a powerful platform for promoting dialogue and understanding among diverse cultures, societies, and nations. By facilitating informed discussions and providing a space for different perspectives, newspapers and publications can bridge gaps, dispel misconceptions, and foster mutual respect, thereby contributing significantly to global peace efforts. 2 weeks from today, the Manila Bulletin is hosting the second Sustainability Forum, where we seek to promote a broader understanding beyond going green and caring for the environment. We'd like to involve people in their communities, and on a broader scale, we call on corporations to share their resources or to collaborate on projects that go beyond publicity and lip service. The importance of the advocacy for peace that is being promoted by the Global Media Forum is underlined by the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict that has been raging for the past month. The world is crying out for peace, but this seems to be an elusive goal on account of deeply embedded distrust and animosity that has escalated into deadly warfare. Every day that we put out the Manila Bulletin, it pains us to be the bearer of news about war and death. We have therefore endeavored to shed light and amplify
on initiatives that foster cooperation, understanding, and joint efforts to build a gentler and kinder world. Our third and final imperative is to be an advocate for human rights and social justice. Media has the power to shed light on human rights abuses, social injustices, and other global issues. It is not easy to be a journalist these days. According to Time magazine, the Israeli-Hamas war is the deadliest for journalists in 30 years, with at least 35 fatalities, while the total death toll in that conflict has already exceeded 11,000. How many more lives will be lost before a ceasefire is called? Even if we momentarily set aside our concern about the ongoing war in the Middle East, we must continue to strive to attain global respect for human rights and social justice. One of the basic things we could do is to address the problem of poverty. Poverty continues to afflict millions of Filipinos. Hunger and malnutrition affects millions of Filipino children whose growth has been stunted. The ultimate goal of achieving national progress is to enable Filipino families to attain a reasonable measure of economic sufficiency and well-being. Esteemed colleagues in mass media communications, we must continue to believe and support the ideal of attaining global peace. I have just discussed with you 3 imperatives. First, to expose and oppose misinformation and disinformation. Second, to promote dialogue and understanding. And third, be an advocate for human rights and social justice. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with each and every one of us. Maraming salamat.
Digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
Sa Katipunan Channel. Kayo ay nanonood sa Katipunan Channel.
Sir Sonny Nicoloma. All right, at this point in time, to conclude the second plenary session, let us have the director of the Manila Times and the honorary consul of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. He is the 3rd child of the Manila Times Chairman Emeritus, Mr. Dante Arevaloan. Ladies and gentlemen, let us have the director of the Manila Times and the honorary consul of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, Mr. Michael Alexander L.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. Dr. Nona Report, our lead convener, Mr. Ra, our regional president for the Global Peace Foundation, Mr. Kim, our distinguished keynote speaker, media colleagues, students, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The world of print media and the publishing industry has become smaller in the last few decades, in wake of the growth of broadcast media and most recently modern technology and communications and the rise of the internet and digital media. The Manila Times, at 125 years, is the oldest newspaper in circulation in the Philippines. And its longevity, as we all know, reporting the news, stating facts, figures, sharing intellectual opinions is a newspaper's bread and butter. The challenges that we have are, number one, timeliness of the news coming out in print versus broadcast radio and TV, the internet, and news apps. Number two, creating and maintaining the balanced presentation of the news. Number three, adapting, and incorporating modern technology to compete and grow, and in other cases, just to survive. On the first challenge of timeliness, print media must continue to face and accept this reality. Print media has the quote unquote final say in terms of declaration of facts, even though it will not be the latest or most recent in terms of news. On the second challenge of balanced presentation of the news, as with all media organizations, ensuring the balanced presentation of the news is a huge and daunting challenge. With the increased cost of printing additional pages, it is often very concerning which news item should we print and where should we place it. Oftentimes, this challenge results in a limited presentation of the news articles in terms of the printed copy. On the third challenge of adapting and incorporating modern technology, this we found is a must. Adapting to and incorporating modern technology has allowed us to address the first and second challenges. Not merely has it allowed us to just survive. With this background challenges in mind, what role does print media take in pursuit of global peace strategies and adaptations? Print media, in my opinion, still serves as the final validation of facts and of issues concerning the news. There's a saying that I came across a long time ago, and it goes, "It is not real unless it is printed in the paper." Many in the Philippines still rely on reading the newspaper for specifics of some news items that they have found interesting through other media sources. Frequently, what most people listen to on a radio broadcast, TV, or podcast, or what they watch on the internet are about some ongoing global or regional tension or conflict. It is something they still look for in written form for validation of this particular news item. With this, print media must continue to strive for the full and complete presentation of the news, publishing not only the attention-grabbing headlines or just the shocking or controversial part of the story. It must be the entire story, complete with balancing views that offer a perspective solution, and possibly resolutions for a tension or a conflict that is occurring globally. This may seem very simplistic, but I believe it's doable in terms of what we can actually put together in our newspaper, even though honestly it's challenging to enforce. As we've heard from the other speakers, maintaining that balance in terms of what our writers produce, what they write, and what we publish, that really is the daunting task that we must face every single day. Now, the same idea of validation is a practice that educators must continue to use for students' activities to ensure that the practice of research through reading print media continues to be developed in the youth. This should, of course, be closely guided by the educators in order for the youth to avoid falling into the habit of just settling for the news items that only present tensions and conflict. In closing, print media is here and continues to evolve. Its progressing evolution must also continue to integrate solution-oriented views and opinions towards a peace-building mindset. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Director of the Manila Times and the Honorary Consul of the National Kingdom of Jordan, Mr. Michael Alexander M. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Proceeding to the last plenary session titled Unleashing the Power of Social Media and Digital Technology to Promote Peace and
Sa Katipunan Channel.
And holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hill Spa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hill Spa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hill Spa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Patotoo ng ating mga kababayan na natulungan ng Immune Advance.
Ako po si Ronald Adbincula na taga Santa Rosa, Nueva Ecija. Security guard. Simula po nung nasubukan ko itong Immune Advance, naging mahimbing po yung aking pagtulog at yung aking appetite po. Lumakas po ako sa pagkain. Kung ganun gaya nung dati na talagang nalalambot po ako nung hindi ko pa po nainom itong food supplement nito. Start po nung nainom ko to, lumakas po. Saka yung resistensya ko po medyo nagkaroon po ng energetic. Dito po sa food supplement ng Immune Advance, maganda po talaga. Salamat Immune Advance.
Ako si Yoli Mabasa, senior citizen, retired banker ng Ilagan, Isabela. Alam nyo, dati ang nararamdaman ko, nagpapalpitate ako. Sinubukan ko yung Immune Advance. Aba, nawala na yung palpitation ko. Gumaan pa ang pakiramdam ko. At saka simula noon, tuwing umiinom ako, naku, ang sarap na ng tulog ko. Salamat Immune Advance. Mabuti na lang na-discover kita. Thank you.
Shop ni Lolita Daban, 46 years old, taga Kutog Grande de Mercedes, Isabela. Dati-dati naregatan nak nga maturog, tata nagimas mit iturog kon. Agyaman nak mit detang impid da kanyak Immune Advance. Padasin nyo Immune Advance na laing. Sobrat na itulong na tibagit. Thank you.
Ni Bubut Buwak 50 anyos, taga District 1, Benito Sulibin, Isabela. Manay po dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, talaga mariknak iti bagik nga mayat. Mayat ti pan naturog ko, kayon pumiksa akpay. Idi gamin, adda iti rabi nga di makaturturog. Ngumi dinagtumarak iti Immune Advance, isumutan si mayat ti pan naturog ko. Sungado kayat yung mayat ti pumiksa, ken mayat ti pan naturog na, agtumar kayo ti Immune Advance, awan ti side effect na, tunay nga organic.
Nung bata po ako, may asthma po ako. Tapos po, nung simulan ko po uminom po ng products po ng Immune Advance, ay naging mabuti po yung aking katawan. And nakatulog po ako ng maayos. And nawawala po yung higa ko po. Kaya po sa mga kagaya ko po na may asthma, Immune Advance na lang po yung inumin niyo. Ako nga po pala si Casey Petty Talagtag, 19 taon na gulang, nakatira sa Payatas. Ito pong Immune Advance, nagtataglay po ito ng malunggay, lagundi, vitamin C, and zinc na nakakabuti sa ating immune system.
Lagundi! Tiwala ako!
Immune Advance, alagang totoo, alagang natural, mabibili sa Lazada, Shopee at sa inyong mga suking parmasya, sa mga drugstore, sa inyong mga lugar.
Araw-araw ang digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available in Shopee, Lazada, and other leading drugstores.
change the world with one story, one family, one child at a time. More than 20 years of broadcasting experience as part of ABS-CBN, the Philippines' largest multimedia network, and 4 years as the Bantay Bata 160 Program Director has made her an authority in journalism and public service. All these years and beyond, all these opportunities, she always been a woman on a mission. Her raison d'etre has always been to empower families and change the world. One story, one family, one child at a time. A broadcaster, advocate, social media journalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jane Castaneda.
Thank you. Hello! Hi! Hello! Wow, gising na gising pa. Lalo na mga bakets. Thank you for the invitation. And I'm very happy to be here. I have a lot of titos and titas in the audience. Tito Sani. And Mr. Buhayin is the dad of my good friend, Don Buhayin. And I'm very happy to be with you today. So ladies and gentlemen, my fellow media professionals, it's an honor to be with this impressive roster of speakers and be among some of the most influential names in the field. Before I get started, I'd like to thank the organizers for today's event, of course led by the Global Peace Foundation, as well as my fellow peace advocates. Kapag naman natin sila, ang pinag-pinag nila all the names, the big names in the industry. So when I learned about the mission of the foundation and saw the esteemed speakers who will be joining me today, it filled me with gratitude for belonging to a generation that has witnessed the transformative power of traditional journalism and how it navigated the digital revolution. So mga titos and titas in media, diba? I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say that we haven't just observed this evolution. We have actually influenced, pioneered, and shaped it. Our experience has given us invaluable insights into the effects of the digital revolution on the media landscape, whether from the perspective of broadcast or print media professionals. So napakinggan natin kanina, di ba? Mga bagets. Napakinggan natin yung mga sharing from the print and broadcast segment. So I recall the earliest days of my career in ABC News in New York City, when non-linear editing was the most cutting-edge technology. Alam ba ng mga broadcasting dito, non-linear editing. That was the most cutting-edge technology at that time. In contrast, when I returned to the Philippines and joined ABS-CBN, of course, we were expectedly still a bit behind in terms of broadcasting technology. Still using pneumatic tapes. Oh, again, students, pneumatic tapes, mas malaki pa yan sa iPad. Yes, ma'am. Mas mabigat din, di ba, ang kapal. Pag binato sa'yo, nakasakot ka. Okay. Ayan, so pneumatic tape, this was circa 2000, no? That was the way editing was done in the Philippines at that time. So there was no teleradyo. We had radyo, pahayagan, newspaper, and of course TV. But fast forward to today, after I spent nearly 2 decades in TV, radio, and teleradyo, we have witnessed a radical transformation in how news and media are created and disseminated. Of course, all thanks to digital platforms and social media. Being a journalist has been one of my life's greatest blessings, enabling me to be a first-hand witness and narrator of the most significant stories in our country and around the world. More important, it gave me the opportunity to be of service to our kababayans. So just to share with you a little bit of my journey, maiksing lang, dito pa maalala mo kaya? Maiksi lang naman. My transition to embracing digital platforms can be divided into three phases: pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and post-pandemic. So before the pandemic, social media to me was basically just an extension of my work. So I began by sharing clips of my reports and stories from TV Patrol. Alam niyo TV Patrol? Salamat po. Umagang kay ganda. Yes. Mga kapamilya, okay. Before I knew it, I had gradually been amassing a following, so close to 1 million FB followers. So this was pre-pandemic. When the pandemic hit, I wanted to make the most out of the opportunity that my audience gave me. I began producing entertaining online shows, but focusing on advocacies close to my heart. Health, family, child welfare, women empowerment, and of course, current events. So mga Zoom interviews niya. So my show was, or is, Pamilya Talk. And of course, we all witnessed how the post-pandemic era ushered in new beginnings for many. Others chose comedy, so kanina binabanggit ng iba nating speakers, no? Or some more artistas or entertainment as their content. For me, it came with a surprise that traditional media professionals like me would have up to 20 million in audience reach. It was enough to reinforce my belief in the power of media and the public's need to be informed and educated on important issues. I was also lucky enough to add another form of media to my platforms when I became a regular columnist for the Philippine Star. So now, as I continue to pursue this multimedia career, I vow to do so as a traditional journalist. Invento ko lang yan. Kung may Google, hindi niya makikita.
Hindi multimedia eh.
Hindi multimedia. Traditional journalist. It's a word I have coined. And to me, this approach means merging truth, accuracy, and public service of the traditional press with the engaging nature of digital media. Tumataong si Tito Sammy Coloma. Thank you, sir. Lolo, sorry, Tito pala natin. Tito natin. Tito Sammy. Suki namin sa Malacanang, nung time ni Pinoy. Why is this symbiotic relationship between traditional and social media so significant in our advocacy for peace? It starts with a wealth of experience that veteran journalists bring. People like Sally Coloma, of course, Michael Ang, kanina, no, si Edgar Cabangon. And I think I speak for my colleagues when I say that because of our experience, we've been able to gain a clearer understanding of how the public forms their perspectives. And that kind of understanding on the role of communications is an invaluable skill in the pursuit of peace. Social media niya yan. And social media, as we all know, is an indispensable tool for amplifying sustained campaigns and messages. I'd like to underline that word, sustained campaigns and messages. Bakit? Kasi po mahal sa TV, mahal sa radyo. So doing campaigns on radio and on TV, and maybe also on print, sir, no? May bayad pa rin, no?
Effective on social media.
Mahal, syempre. So you have to pay for airtime, print space, and even for TV, no? Airtime din yun. Unlike in social media, that's why you can do sustained advocacies, sustainable, consistent advocacies on social media. So as media professionals, lahat po tayo dito, invested in the development of peace, we need to ensure that the messages we disseminate in all of our platforms are filled with hope, peace, inspiration, and love. So I'm very happy all of the previous speakers were talking about the same thing. Hope, peace, inspiration, and love. So take, for example, the Israel-Hamas conflict, the most recent tragic display of war and destruction. Regrettably, we are no strangers to such images, with armed conflicts in Mindanao often bringing us parallel scenes of devastation. I recently had the privilege of engaging in a conversation with the leaders of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM. And their collective vision is clear. They yearn for for a progressive, modernized region. So iisa po ang panaginip nating lahat, ang pangarap nating lahat. But they know, and we know, that this dream cannot become a reality without peace. Kahit gano'n po nila paghirapan at itayo ang turismo, maglagay ng mga kalye, tulay, etc. Isang kidnapping lang at isang bomba. Burado lahat ng paghihirap nila. As we've learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, beyond basic needs like food and livelihood, people long for hope and inspiration to propel them forward. Luckily, we, as media practitioners, possess the unique ability to capture and portray stories with such vividness and emotion that they can ignite public sentiment, uniting people behind a common cause, just as Filipinos come together in times of calamity. This means that we can also channel this collective spirit to fight for peace. But where do we start? I propose that we begin by addressing the root causes of armed conflict and insurgency. Ano po yun? Poverty, corruption, sickness, illiteracy, and hopelessness. Parang hirap, no? So it's an imposing and daunting list. And of course, it can sound impossible. But I have another option. And that is to strengthen a core unit of our society, the family. It was also mentioned by our previous speakers, and talagang nakakatuwa na we're all aligned and we're thinking about the same thing. By planting the seeds of peace within our families, we can cultivate roots that are resilient in the fight for peace. The welfare of families and children is one advocacy that I was fortunate enough to have as a part of my career when the late Gina Lopez asked me to head Pampanga 163. I was blessed to be able to have the chance to fulfill this role while I continued my work in news and current event shows. By this time, I was also already a mother myself, which made the work even more personal. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG 16, talks about the importance of the protection of Filipino families and children to global peace. I'm a sustainability advocate also. Families are the first and foremost influential educators in every child's life. And by instilling values of peace, empathy, communication, and conflict resolution in their children, families contribute to creating future agents of peace and change. Families are the building blocks of communities, as mentioned a while ago by Mr. Buhain, and we must help them become units that foster social cohesion, trust, and cooperation, which are essential elements for peace. While we've all done our share, of course, there's still a need to keep going. There are still threats and issues affecting families and children, and we must respond in numbers, united in our goal for global peace. Empowering Filipino families has been a cause I have dedicated a substantial part of my life and career to, and it is an advocacy I'd like to share with my fellow media professionals. Actually, I don't need to share them. Pare-pareho na pala tayo, no? We're all aligned with we're all in one direction, and that's in strengthening the families. After all, we're all part of the same community. Diba? United by our roles as, to our foreign guests, we have kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid. Diba? Hindi nyo lang yung niya tayo. So, walang pakala lang natin tayo. Kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid. Those are early modalities, which ultimately means that we're all part of one big family. And gusto ko lang kasabot. Ganda tayo sa kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid. So I want to emphasize the immense power of the platforms we yield. When we combine the vast audiences and influence of all the esteemed speakers here, but also of the influence of our youth, para baka natin yung youth. Youth lang po. Because the youth is a, in social media, walang yaman, mahirap, sikat, o hindi. Lahat tayo may circles of influence. And if you combine all of our power, then we can just imagine what we can do together. The potential reach and impact of our messages of peace and hope are undeniable. With the integration of social media, we have the capacity not only to create movements for peace, but also to inspire and amplify hope. So in realizing global peace, we must recognize the pivotal role of children and families. Empowering families to provide a stable, nurturing, and values-driven environment is a crucial step toward a more peaceful world. This objective needs a collective effort from all of us. By using our digital platforms to foster strong, peaceful, and loving families, we lay the groundwork for future generations that can contribute to building a more just and peaceful world. So I'm looking forward to collaborating with everyone here. Titos, titas, kuyas, ates, may baby ba dito? Kayo nagpapanggap na baby. Babies, yeah. So we can make the most of our platforms and create more compelling content that educates, strengthens, and empowers Filipino families. Kanina si Edgar, no, was already talking about Mano, Pagmamano, creating a campaign, creating shows. So maybe that's where we can start. So let us work together as communicators, united in creating messages that inspire conversations that matter and ignite movements that build a peaceful nation. To end, again, I'd like to thank the organizers of this event, the Global Peace Foundation, under the leadership of Mr. Alvin Lituma, Global Peace Philippines Executive Director. Palakpakan naman po natin. Mr. Asia Gao, of course, Global Peace Asia Pacific President, and my friend who extended the invitation as well, si Ed, for putting together a very successful program for us today, as well as for all of the work that the Foundation committed in the pursuit of peace. Palakpakan po natin ang bawat isa. Tulong-tulong po tayo dito po sa ating advocacy. Maraming salamat.
Punan Channel. And holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Strategies and adaptations. So to begin the second plenary, our speaker is the chairman and president of the Rex Group of Companies, which is one of the leading companies in the country relating to book industry. Rex Bookstore Incorporated, one of its member companies, has published around 6,000 titles from the pre-elementary to post-collegiate levels, inclusive of coffee table, legal, and other publications. Today, it boasts of 25 branches all over the country. He has likewise authored several publications, and one of which is the history of publishing in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the chairman of the Rex Group of Companies and Rex Education, Attorney Dominador D. Natin Jr.
Greetings to everyone, to the dignitaries and the rest of the audience. Allow me to give special thanks to the personalities which allow me to be present during this occasion. Firstly, may I give recognition to Dr. Lona Santana Ricaport, our lead convener Global Peace Forum. If we give a round of applause to the likewise, I give recognition likewise to the regional president of Global Peace Foundation Asia Pacific, in the person of Mr. Injin Ralph. Thank you, sir. And last but not the least, Mr. Yung Jun Kim, our speaker. Thank you so much for the beautiful messages that were conveyed. And likewise, last but not the least, Professor Mark, whom I consider as a genius. Allow me to lead my speech. The role of publishing and publication in the promotion of global peace. Firstly, publication and publication in the promotion of global peace. I would like to give a comparative approach. Amongst the different media channels, publications seem to be the vehicle needing the most gestation time to be able to communicate vital messages. While today's digital social media is the fastest in real time, followed by television and radio, which somehow edit reports, news, etc. Before airing them, print counts as a comfortable third, because these research, composed, written, and edited before going into the final print. Publications denote books, treatises, discourses, and printed materials that necessitate time, effort, and resources to produce. Developments in the global front, especially in matters of conflict and duress, necessitate real-time transparency. What then can be the vital role of publications and the publishing process, which takes much longer, in the promotion and inculcation of peace? While critics will say that publication are the last perhaps to respond, I would say the following are the upsides of publication. So far as the promotion and inculcation of peace as a value and way of life is concerned. First, the preparation of publications are well thought out, well written, or at least most of them, and well researched. We are bound by several criteria. Firstly, we have the ethics in writing. Secondly, we have the intellectual property rights. And thirdly, we have the dictums and decorum of classical writing. Second, having control over the creative, digital, and press machines. Messages can be enhanced by pictures, images, color, collages, montages, and the like. In fact, 70% of messages are appreciated and comprehended with the use of visual aids. Such, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of the publication medium. Thirdly, with a significant amount of funds utilized for the publication of printed materials, books, treatises, etc., the impact and the overall effectiveness of well-thought of publications are more lasting and pervasive. They are well read, kept, and transferred from generation to generation. We have the quick and fleeting news from social media, but global developments capture accurately history, and that they are the crowning glory of responsible publication. Up to now, we refer to the writings of the Sumerians, the role of papyrus scrolls of the Egyptians, the predecessors of St. James' Bible, unearthed from biblical times rather, and so on. How then, you may say, can publication as a supposed slow, but nonetheless more permanent medium be optimized in the promotion of peace? Firstly, as publishers, we have the influence and gentle persuasion in requesting writers to include the inculcation of the values of peace and related elements as they write the respective treatises. We can actually fund interesting, commercially viable, but value-filled publications and book materials from coffee table books, pamphlets, journals, etc. We can request authors to include the inculcation of peace, the preparation of workbooks and textbooks in such academic areas as catechesis, relief and the like. United together for a common cause and common goal, we can encourage our co-publishers to espouse and focus on the positive ramifications and practices leading to global peace, either as main themes, chapters, inclusions, or mere allusions, even in storybooks for children. More so, these value-filled storybooks, which children read to absorb like sponges and emulate as their way of life. From the Hans Christian Andersen books to the many contemporary storybooks that even brilliant Filipino and Asian writers develop today. As we do in our humble establishment, the Rex Education or the Rex Group of companies, particularly with the sudden rush of alternative technologies during the global pandemic, publications have fostered and innovated online. And somehow we have taken on and taken up the advantages and ramifications of digital technology to bring vital information, education, entertainment to cyberspace. Such are the ways of how publication and publishing industry can help in the global pursuit and promotion of peace. If social media messages are arrows in the air, television and radio broadcasts are heralding announcements on trumpets, bullhorns, and the like, publications, I would say, are the holy grail of media promotions. Books considered sacred and divine in the centuries, to the point they sometimes mistook because they are well written in the scrolls. Books and pamphlets are interpreted and taken as gospel truth. Such is the power of the printed word in a medium considered ethereal, permanent, and fruitful. Beset against the sandstorms and artillery of pirate time. To join hands with all other media world is indeed a great silence. If there are atomic bombs or nuclear missiles, the power of the printed word is more than 1,000 explosions as it emanates from the very heart of the soul of men. Maraming salamat.
Sa Katipunan Channel. And holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Digmaan. Umaga't gabi sumasabak sa laban. Dapat protektado ka outside at inside. Immune Advance contains 4 active ingredients gaya ng lagundi, malunggay, non-acidic vitamin C at zinc. Tulong pampatibay resistensya para tulong proteksyon. Isama pa ang proper diet at exercise. Para katawan ay handa, Immune Advance helps support a healthy immune system. Immune Advance ang sandata. No approved therapeutic claims. Ang Immune Advance ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit. Available
introduce a little bit longer one because of her credential. Grabe. Okay, to begin, our last speaker for today is the definition of a well-rounded and multi-hyphenate. Continuously evolving through a fruitful career of more than 2 decades, she is an international TV and event host, model, best-selling author, content creator, personal development speaker, and advocate. As a seasoned lifestyle host, she has presented here and abroad for some of the world's leading brands such as Hermes, Patek Philippe, Moet Chandon, Visa, Singapore Tourism Board, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Ferrari, L'Oreal, to name a few. She is the best-selling author of the first of its kind in the world in 2011, a self-help book and beauty instructional, face-to-face, the healing power of makeup. Aware of her civic duties as a public figure, she uses her social platforms to be voice against sexual violence and abuse, specifically bullying. As a certified NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, life coach, she advocates for a trauma-informed approach in healing from various types of trauma. Wow, a graduate of De La Salle University and the makeup designer in Hollywood, Los Angeles, she has been employed as chief makeup artist and trainer, celebrity stylist, beauty editor, associate men's fashion editor, newspaper and online columnist, among others. Starting off her career as a runway and commercial model, she is a member and former disciplinary officer of the Professional Models Association of the Philippines, and has even graced the world-renowned Cannes Film Festival red carpet as a beauty queen, Miss Moton Cadet. These days, you're invited to travel around the world through her YouTube channel with no signs of slowing down. If you were to ask what her next plans are for the next 2 decades, she shares, "I'm just getting started." Ladies and gentlemen, an international blogger, columnist, and social media personality, Miss Bianca S. Valerio.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I know it's like the end of the day. It's been so long. People need to pee, or they need to go, or they need to have their cup of coffee. So I'm going to try to make this as focused and I wouldn't say quickly, but direct to the point. Okay, so when I was invited to do this, I was thinking, me, a speaker for global peace, but how? So my speech is more on a testimonial on how I've used my social media platform and how to promote peace and in real time. So, as you can see, my first slide, back in, for clickbait's sake, I'm going to open my speech with, in June 2021, I was actually sexually assaulted at one of the events I was hosting. That night, I really thought I was going to die. And it was hard. It was the heart of the pandemic. And I thought to myself, Bianca, you didn't die, so you don't need to tell anybody. That is literally what a public official told me. Anyway, hindi ka naman namatay, di ba? It's really sad, because what that told me is, if we could just keep quiet, right? That was what he told me, to keep quiet. Because anyway, I didn't die. So when we tell ourselves to keep the peace, to be silent about our truths, we betray ourselves. And people think that the war is in Afghanistan, in Israel. It's not. I mean, yes it is. But there's a war that each and every person go through every day. And it is actually online. It is on social media. Because every single person in social media has a wounded child that is navigating, that is commenting from the level of their consciousness. And we become those victims of the wars that they have within themselves. Because they're triggered. We get triggered. And so the other pandemic that we are going through is not just mental health, but trauma. The trauma that we go through every day, silently. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to keep the peace. Because I didn't want, my parents have already gone through so much. I didn't want to have to put them through more stress. And honestly, I wasn't going to tell the cops because I didn't trust them. I thought I would be exploited, I would be bribed, you get the deal. So I felt very, very alone. And what did I have on me that I thought I could use as a tool, maybe as a weapon, or as an instrument to help alleviate my pain? Social media. And take note, I only have less than 40,000 followers, and from a marketing standpoint, that's not a lot, right? And it's really sad that for advertisers and clients, people are devalued based on the amount of followers they had. So I thought, who's going to listen to me? I don't really have followers, and I'm actually a loner. You know, I do things on my own, very hyper independent. I was bullied in school, so I don't have this cool clout or barkada to help me out. All I really had, literally, was myself and my social media platform. And so a year later, after I had already gotten sick, because remember, when we keep silent, we may look like we have it all together on the outside, but that pain, that silence manifests in our body. Trauma lives in the body. That's why it is not just mental health. It is holistic. It is in our body. Therefore, I didn't want to be sick anymore. I was growing masses in my breasts. I was getting cyst in my uterus. I was in much pain, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. Here I was in March 2021, hosting an event, online event on woman empowerment. And I couldn't even do that for myself. So I took to social media, I posted a video, you guys can just watch it online if you're interested. And I shared my story. And I thought, dear God, I just pray for the best. If I cry, it's only because I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so I posted it online, and next slide, please. And next, by the way, so this was the video, and this is not the guy who did this to me, this is actually my brother. He had already passed away, and he was who I was praying to that night to help me escape. And if you have ever watched MacGyver in the 90s, and he was so cool, probably the story will never make the light of day, but I MacGyvered myself out of that situation. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, so I prayed to him because I said, I don't want to die this way. So these are, after this photo, it's like all testimonials of many other victims this person has allegedly done this to. So, next slide, please. Within hours, my story went viral. Not just in the Philippines, but even in other online sites in the world. And this is just some of them. And I thought, wow, the girl who doesn't have a lot of followers, who doesn't have a cool barkada, gets this, like people wanted to know what happened to me. Whether it was for entertainment, because there's all a marites in all of us. Marites means, I mean to our foreigners, basically to people who just like gossip, right? And so they took to my account to find out how they could just entertain themselves, or people who actually truly cared and wanted to know. And you know what? That didn't even make me happy. Because ultimately, when we talk about peace, at least for me, it's inner peace. You hear of people, the most famous example is Princess Diana. I had everything, I had a title, I had all this, but she was so unhappy. I don't have a lot of followers, I don't have this, I don't have that, but what I did for myself that day, if there was ever an example where I never felt so much love from God, because it's like He was telling me, next slide please, I am enough. Now my story in the world of advertising and marketing, yes, Bianca, you are enough. And that made me feel so validated, not by anybody, not by the thousands of comments that showed my support, although I'm grateful, but it's because like God was saying, I've got you, you know? And so, in saying that, completely, as you can see, I have no script because I just want to be as genuine as possible. So, ever since then, I have not posted a single photo on my Instagram. Why? Because I want to use it literally as an advertisement, a platform to people who are still finding out about this, that guy is still out there, probably still doing it to other people. And I know there are people who are like, oh, but he can file a case for you, whatever. It's like, seriously, if you want peace in social media, read captions. That helps. You know, think before you speak. Think before you comment. Or read before you comment. But because there's so much chaos online that I cannot control, whether it's the victim shaming or even the positive support, I can only control my mindset and myself. So, in saying that, I am enough, if we truly want to know what we are capable of, how strong we are, how loved we are by whichever your spirituality is, it's self-care. And I don't mean going to a spa. I'm talking about the discipline where I had to take a look at myself and say, Bianca, you keep complaining, you're getting sick, you keep complaining, you're so sad, then do something about it. So I faced my fears, and that's what I did. Sure, I lost thousands of followers ever since I went public. One, because I stopped posting, and two, because there haven't been updates about it. But you know what? I gained self-respect, a self-confidence I have never had in all the beautiful dresses and all these great experiences I've had around the world. And that was my peace. We cannot give what we don't have. So this whole concept of global peace, it's a nice idea, but until we actually try to fill our cup, as they say, there's nothing to give other people. So, what are my solutions? I'm not a politician or whatnot. I can only share with you what I know and what I've experienced. We need to take a really good look at how we are coping with trauma, not mental health, because you cannot think your way out of depression. Depression, once again, is in the body. So we have to look at other avenues like somatic therapy and all these other things, counseling. These, like the way that we go to a gym to make us physically strong, we have to find ways to make our children, the next generation, like right now, yourselves, to have the great emotional stamina and spiritual stamina. It's not just about physical strength. Because if I didn't have the spiritual and emotional stamina that I did, I probably would have killed myself already. You know? And I refuse to be a cautionary tale. Uy, kawawa naman si Bianca, tingnan mo na paano sa kanya. No. I want to be alive and I want to thrive. I do not want to just survive. Every single person right here is all going through something, right? So technically, my story is not really special because yes, there are worse things happening in the world, but I am enough. And if I bring that peace to myself and to my heart, only then can I share it with others. So you're thinking, how are we going to do this with a mental health, somatic, and all that? Of course, education through all the different platforms, all the news outlets, on how to reframe, how to unlearn what we know about trauma. Because someone has said to me, but Bianca, you don't really look like you were assaulted. I'm sorry, but what does a person who, am I supposed to be like bloody and kawawa, right? We are all going through something. There could be somebody in this room right now who is, you know, it's not a competition, but who is going through worse things than me. But you know what? We get up, we show up, and we make it work. But the war inside ourselves is eating away at us. Therefore, we continue to live on survival mode. That's not the kind of life I want all of us to live. That's not, I want us to thrive, not just to survive. So from, of course, education on a micro level, like they call me a micro influencer, work on yourself. How do you work on yourself? When you want to cry, cry. Crying is literally the most human, expelling, and emotion is energy in motion. It's not a weakness. That's why people don't like to talk about it, because they don't know how to control it, but they can control their mind. If, like I said, if we can find a way to build that emotional stamina. So how do we do that? We need to stop telling children and people, oh, never talk about religion and politics during dinner at our parties. Conflict resolution. is a life skill that we need to learn. Because technically, if children learn from a young age how to talk about these things with openness, it never needs to be a conflict. It only becomes a conflict when our teachers and whatnot tell us it's supposed to be a conflict. So if we learn it from a young age, that it's okay to have a difference of opinion, it's okay to disagree, it's going to be a beautiful world. It's not monumental, but it certainly is a start. It's like planting those trees, like in that video of the 100 years, blah, blah, right? So anyway, I'm almost done. Next slide. Oh yeah, okay, so people have told me, oh, you know, like, don't let this define you. I know. That's why I believe that I probably manifested this event because I wanted to turn my pain into purpose. So I've had news outlets come to me to give talks on bullying and so on and so forth. And while that's not the goal of what I want to do, at least it's being the alchemist in my own life. I realize I can't save anybody. I can only save myself. I can't even help anybody because there are people who don't want to be helped. For them, peace is revenge. For them, peace is killing themselves. So we can't be everything to everyone. So all we can do with our accounts is be pillars of strength. And we set those boundaries. What comments are not allowed here? We can do that. Those little niche communities and all of that interconnected will truly bring not global peace, but a more resilient, peaceful world. So, next slide. To sit with your chaos instead of running from it, to be fully with it without becoming it. It's like that you were saying about the water, the river, right? Emotions, you can't control it. So rather than suppress it, you just gotta ride with it. And that is how we need to try and teach people how to do that. And how do we do that? I can't show you, I can only show myself, and hopefully when I help myself, it encourages people to help themselves as well. So, in saying that, I said that we cannot give or pour out of an empty cup, and we cannot give what we do not have. And because I'm still fighting crime like an Avenger, I am the heroine in my life. Is it heroine? Like the drug? I'm the hero in my story. You know, I don't need to wait for like Iron Man to do so. And I'm so proud of myself. And now that I'm able to coexist of fighting for justice, but at the same time carrying on with my life. Not moving on, but balancing all these things. I now have tasted that kind of peace that I would like to share. Next slide, please. With all of you. So if I can invite everybody to please stand up. Let's all stand up, please. If everybody has all been to church, to mass, it doesn't matter what your religion is. This is not about that, okay? That's how these things get started. So, just place your right hand over your heart, right? Now imagine you could hold peace, like in a ball, okay? Imagine it's this marshmallowy piece that you can hold. And now put it right in front of you and imagine that piece with so much purity and love. Hold that piece right in front of you and now give it to the person on your left and to your right and say, I share my peace with you. Right? And at the same time, that peace that you have gotten from that person, put it in your heart and say, thank you. I accept, right? So I am Bianca Valerio. I'm wishing everyone inner peace that we all deserve. And I was so nervous to do this, but now no one fell asleep. Amen.
Wow, what a way to end our forum this afternoon. Turning my pain into purpose, and we are all our heroes and our respective stories. Once again, an international vlogger, columnist, and social media personality, Ms. Bianca S. Valerio. Wow.
Sa Katipunan Channel.
Make weekends and holidays count by bonding with family and friends. At Hillspa Resort, we can make that happen for you. Rest, relax, and have fun in a natural setting with so much greenery around you. Hillspa Resort boasts of 3 large and clear pools, 3 spacious function halls, and several clean and cozy rooms for a memorable and enjoyable overnight stay. Our various facilities can cater to various budgets. Hillspa Resort is located in Barangay Lalakay, Los Baños, Laguna. Why not check us out for that overdue bonding activity with family and friends? For inquiries, please call Joey at 0932-624-2019.
Okay. So, first our distinguished speakers, Mr. Yongjun Kim. I was really touched. In fact, I think the point for the synthesis were serious and major elements for your speech. To all our media friends, to all our students, our bloggers, and shall we say, all the distinguished personages who are here who have attended the media forum. Okay, first of all, allow us to share with you that this media forum was called as a pre-assembly for a bigger global forum that will be held, as Mr. Ingil said, in December. And we'd like to, of course, invite again our distinguished guests. Consul Knight, Attorney Buhain, Mrs. Camacho, of course, our boss in Malacana, Mrs. Ana Paloma, our blogger, our beautiful blogger there, Bianca, and all our 12 from the PDP who join us again, because this is just the first, our good friend Joseph from the Federation of the Cable Networks. This is just the first major milestone that the Global Peace Initiative has done for the media sector. We are very, very thankful that you're all here with us today. I saw we had about 30 representatives from media. And most of all, we are honored by all the taipans and the moguls in the media industry. Now, what are the lessons that we have learned that I'm supposed to synthesize this afternoon? I believe, and even for the students, this is very important, not kids, because a number of people will be journalists, they're communication students and all. The first lesson that I kept on nodding my head this afternoon when he was delivering it were the major salient points from Mr. Yongjun Kim's discussion. That as media practitioners, you have all the rights of freedom and democracy and freedom of expression in your respective media forums. You are all running very, very, very powerful media, shall we say, machineries and modalities. Of course, from the television industry, we heard from Mr. Kabamon. We've heard from the cable network. The cable is about 300 or so active members throughout the country. We've heard from the movie sector. And then, of course, we move on to publishing. We heard Attorney Buhain. And, of course, Sunny, Paloma, and Michael of the Manila Times. We've heard Jane. We've heard Bianca. And we've also heard the other ladies, like we had Mrs. Gilote yesterday. She spoke with the Peace and Global Women, but she's also a media practitioner in her own right. She's a radio commentator from DZRH. Now, the first major points that were said was, indeed, you have the freedom and the prerogatives of media. But what Mr. Yongjun Kim was echoing was, this should be responsible freedom. We do not have the diplomatic license to use media as a vehicle for sensationalism or thwarting information for the benefit, for instance, of business, political, or any other agenda. Media should be used, indeed, in its original sense, as a form of communication to tell humanity about the truth. Just like what Bianca was sharing with us as the last speaker. Second, a few inputs on the respective media forms. Broadcast indeed is one of the most powerful because when we view television or listen to the radio, more so television or even the movies, as Francia was saying, we sometimes transcend ourselves and think that what's happening in the movie is the reality. It's the reality. And so we tend to believe everything that we watch and see. That's why movies and television are very, very powerful because they influence even the young minds. Is it not? When the fashion was for the TikTok and all everybody was doing TikTok, you know? So if we use television as a mode for positive value formation, I think it will be very, very effective. Broadcast for that matter. And then print. Print publications, which is represented by Attorney Buhain, as we said, is the longest gestating form. Because when you write a book and you publish a book, you have to write it, you have to edit it, it takes months. But it has a carrying permanence to it. Once you publish a book, it becomes gospel truth. And likewise, print. Sir Coloma, as you very well know, when the Honorable, incidentally, I am proud to say that I am an avid Manila Bulletin reader. I do not begin my day without looking for my copy of Manila Bulletin. Because honestly, they are one of the most neutral, objective, and comprehensive newspapers. And of course, likewise also the Manila Times. They do not sensationalize. We have this both, Manila and Manila. Perhaps the tabloids or the sensational, let me say, prints really have to use a little bit of sensationalism to be able to generate mass hysteria or awareness, or sometimes that part of the title, just so that the issue will be brought for the day. But that's not the whole point. I think, as Mr. Mike and Mr. Sunny will tell you, at the end of the day, it's what you publish and the quality of what you publish. And I think Ed, you and there will be representing Global Peace also as a writer. Broadcast, I think Noel, I have mentioned that also. And then finally, the most sensitive now is social media. So Jane, Bianca, Sexy was also here yesterday. She begged her kind indulgence. She was supposed to join us again. She's the Undersecretary for Information Technology. That information technology and real-time social media are indeed the most, shall we say, pervasive, but thwartable forms, as you kids will agree with us, no? Because social media is real-time based. And as was indicated by Mr. Yongjun Kim, it can be manipulated. We cannot screen writers as the newspapers and the publishing companies would. You cannot screen television broadcasters. You cannot screen television. I mean, you can screen television broadcasters. You can screen television producers. But you cannot screen the materials that go into social media. So what we are requesting and begging of social media bloggers is, again, taking over Mr. Kim's inputs, be responsible bloggers and social media users. We're seeing the thumbs up sign from the professors of the university. Okay, so in that regard, we came up with a pledge of commitment, Sally. We bring up the pledge of commitment and advocacy agenda of this media forum, which encapsulates what we have achieved this afternoon. And maybe, because it summarizes everything that we can hold it up with me. Where's Alfred? Alfred, can you hold it up here? And later on, after this, we would request all our distinguished speakers to affix their signatures in conformity to the statements that I mentioned. Okay, first, and I wonder, Alan, if you can focus on this. Maybe you can repeat it. Okay, we'll start now. The first line says, as participants of this media forum, we acknowledge the profound impact of media on our world and recognize the pivotal role it plays in shaping global perceptions, advocating for peace, and fostering positive change. We pledge our unwavering commitment to the following principles and agenda. First, harnessing the power of media for peace. We commit to use media as a force for good, leveraging its influence to promote a culture of peace, both locally and globally. We understand that traditional and digital media channels, from television to social media, possess the potential to inspire empathy, understanding, and unity, and we will use these platforms responsibly to amplify messages of peace. We support traditional and digital media. We pledge our support for both traditional and digital media, and we recognize that print, media, television, and movies continue to be influential tools for raising awareness and promoting peace, and we will engage with and promote their content. Simultaneously, we understand the significance of adapting to the digital age, and we commit to embracing new technologies, digital platforms for the betterment of society. Third, mobilizing new media for real-time peace advocacy. We pledge to use social media, Jing, this is you, and Bianca, and all your friends, and digital technology for real-time peace advocacy. We understand that the power of these platforms to disseminate information, mobilize global movements, and coordinate rapid responses to crisis, and we will harness these tools to actively advocate for peace and create a global awareness. Encouraging informed discourse and collaboration is precisely what we did today. We commit to fostering informed discourse and collaboration, and we understand that media can be a source of education and enlightenment, and we will actively seek out diverse perspectives, engage in constructive discussions, and work collaboratively towards peaceful solutions to global issues. Fifth, promoting peace through storytelling, because students, even through storytelling, we pledge to use the art of storytelling to humanize conflicts and drive empathy, whether through documentaries, films, articles, or social media posts. We will employ compelling narratives to inspire others to join us in our mission for peace. And finally, enacting positive change, our commitment goes beyond words. It extends to action. We pledge to take meaningful steps, both individually and collectively, to contribute to the betterment of our communities and the world at large. We understand that media is a catalyst for change, and we will actively advocate for a world that embraces peace, tolerance, truth, and unity. In unity, therefore, we pledge to use the power of media for the greater good, to advocate for peace, and to create a world where understanding, empathy, and collaboration thrive. And together, we will be champions of a culture of peace and an interconnected world. And we will request our distinguished speakers to affix their signatures, and this will become part of the library of the Global Peace Foundation. So we would like to thank Loma, Bianca, and Francia. We have our pens. Maybe we can sign this. Gentlemen, the hope of the future, can you help me carry this? Yes, the two of you. So that we can let all our distinguished speakers sign. Yeah. Thank you very much, Sunny. Kim, Verano. There you go. This is our Magna Carta of peace, using media as the most powerful tool for effective change. May we request one more great group photograph in front? Technical, can you remove the monitor, please? So we have a nice photograph here in front. And you remove this too. We can be downstairs. You can remove the monitor. Alright. We will request our distinguished speakers to join us up front. And then, gentlemen, you can bring it up here. Mr. Coloma, Bianca, Noel, Mr. Yong. Mr. Yong is Racha, Attorney Joaquin, Joseph. You can come up. Some can be up, some can be down. Mr. Yong, John, they say you're very tall. You can stay here. Mark, Joseph, you can stay here. We have Kosani here, yes. Joseph.
Pwede po dito tumingin. Camera. 5, 4, 3, 2. Smile. Thank you.
One more, say hi to the camera. Okay, please sign, please sign. Please sign, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Inyong napakinggan ang palatuntunang Tuklasin Natin. Tuklasin natin hanggang sa muli.